Good morning, everybody. This is Ben Humphries from Kentucky State Planning Law Center. And a lot of times people call us and ask us, they say, Ben, my loved one has just passed away. It could be a spouse, it could be a parent or a grandparent. And they ask us, they say, what do we need to do? And what I tell them first, obviously, is that I'm so sorry for their loss. And that secondly, they've got to determine if the person that passed away owned anything just in their name when they died. And that would, such as a car, checking account, a house, or anything just in their name, a boat. Because if they did own things just in their name and those assets were not payable on death to anybody, then it's very likely that you've got to go through the probate court process. And so a lot of times people call up and they want to meet about the loved one that has just passed away. And when they come in, we ask them that question. What did mom or dad or your husband own just in their name when they died? And if you can't answer that question, then you're not ready to meet with the lawyer just yet, because the lawyer can only help you once he or she knows what assets were in the deceased person's name that need to be administered through a probate court process. And so I know it sounds simple, and I know it sounds like something that might not be the correct first step, but really when a loved one dies, the first step to take is to find out what that person owned in their name only, and whether those assets were payable on death to anybody. And so a good place to look for those things would be the tax return for the previous year. That deceased person should have a place where they keep their bank statements and things like that. And those are the types of documents you can look at to determine how things are held. Because unfortunately, the banks and life insurance companies and things like that, they're not going to talk to you if a person's passed away, if you have not been to court, okay? And so they're going to say, we can't talk to you. And so you have to be able to look at these documents and the old tax return from last year, or the place where mom or dad keeps all their bank statements and investment statements, and get that information. One thing that a lot of statements are coming electronically now. And so, it's important that your loved ones also be able to have access to your email if that's how you're getting statements. And that can be a very crucial part of the process, is to be able to get contact with your email so that you can get those statements, so that you can determine how the assets were held. And then once we know what assets were owned just by the person that passed away, then we can figure out what is the next step that has to be taken. Do we need to go to court and probate the will and do a full probate? Or can we go the shorter route? Can we go the path of what they call dispensing with administration? And in Kentucky, if you have less than, it was $15,000, they're raising that up to $30,000. So if you have less than that amount in your name, then the court allows you to dispense with administration. And that's a short one-day court process. And I still think you need an attorney to go through that process, but it is very simple. And so if you have assets that exceed that level, or if the assets are real estate, then you have to go through the full probate court process, which takes at least 7 to 9 months. So just wanted to give a quick shout out to people and tell them, what do you need to do the first thing when mom or dad or grandma or grandpa passes away? And it's really the first thing that you have to do is figure out what mom or dad owned just in their name, because that's really what needs to be handled or administered through a probate court process. So I hope that helps, and I wish you all the very best and have a great day.